Good evening, everybody. Welcome to day 3 today of the 16 prosperity. I'm very happy that you could join me today for this day 3. As you know, I'm covering the 16 prosperities that was spoken about many years ago, and this is considered as the prosperities that's very important in our life. And sometimes we don't realize it. So as I did my research, I realized that to get the kind of quality of life that we want in our journey in this life, we can't remember our past life. We don't know about our next life. But what we can do is that we can actually ensure that the life we live now, we are able to live with with quality, and that quality will be with the 16 prosperity. And that's the reason why I thought I'll do this session for you to understand the 16 prosperity. I also want to tell people that there's just more to life than just a big car and a big house and lots of money. Okay, so you don't have to take all the 16 prosperity and do it in your life. Maybe you want to choose some of the prosperities, but I think it's amazing that many years ago somebody has actually said that these are the 16 prosperity that anyone should have to have a great quality life. So today, I've covered education as prosperity number 1. Prosperity number 2 was yesterday, which is more on wisdom and knowledge and wisdom. And today is about longevity. Okay, longevity. Yeah. Now, longevity, longevity is long life. Okay, it's long life. And it's important for you to understand it doesn't make sense that you want to have a car, you want a house, you want to have a lot of good things in life, you don't want to live long. So I think, when you talk about 16 prosperity, if you want to achieve all the 16 prosperity, you definitely want to live a long life to enjoy the prosperity, the other 15 prosperities, correct? Right? And there's no use of trying to go and do everything you can to get this prosperity, and then you die young or you die early and before your time, so to speak. So I think it's important for you to understand longevity is important, and you also want to make sure that you live long to enjoy the rest of the prosperity, especially if you are listening to me and following my programs, and you want to achieve the prosperities. Yeah. In the life cycle, when you talk about animals and whatever, you need to know that two species that will live to about 100. Okay, from what I know and want to share with you, 150 years is normally a tortoise or a turtle. A tortoise can live to 150 years, and a turtle can also live to 150 years. Human beings can live up to 100 thereabout. That means it is between 80 to 120 is where humans live. Okay, so when I say long life, I'm talking about maybe 80, 90 years old. That could be a long life, but with good health. Because one of the prosperity is about health. So you need to know you want to live long, not bedridden. You want to live long. Being able to still drive your car, still being able to enjoy life, still have money, not broke or living on pension and so on and so forth, right? So that's why I think the 6th prosperity is so apt. So like I've said every day, and as I talk to you, I always tell that I want to talk to you on each prosperity on the 3 aspects, which is what is that longevity prosperity? What does it mean? What does it mean? Number 2 is how do you achieve this prosperity? And number 3, why is it considered as a prosperity? Okay, so let's talk about the first part, which is what is longevity. What is longevity? Yeah? Longevity is probably, like I said, living to 80 to 100 years. That will be a longevity in my definition. Yeah, because a lot of people will live around that age if they want to. 75, 80 and above. Now a lot of people live up to 80, 85, so no issues. You want to be able to live that age healthily. Very important. You want to enjoy the quality of your life during that 80, 90 years. That's why you want to have the longevity. Rajinikanth, in one of his movies, he says that people's life can be divided. For those who do not know, Rajinikanth is a South Indian actor. He says that people's life is divided into 4 sectors. 4 sectors. There's first 20 years, then the age of 20 to 40, and then 40 to 60, 60 to 80 and above. So in that life, you'll be the first 20 is where your studies, you're growing up, then the next 20 is where you get married and have children. The next 20 is where your children are growing up and you're going to get them married and all. And then 60 years and above is where you become a grandfather, grandmother. But throughout that life, there are different things you learn, you see. So longevity gives you that kind of quality of life because you're going through the 4 cycles, And that is amazing. I think that's why I say 80 years old. Longevity will be 80 years old, because based on a lot of writings that people have done, they always say that human beings go through these 4 cycles. Longevity is where you need to be appreciative of your life on a daily basis. I want to say something here. Sadhguru, I love to read Sadhguru and Ashanji and all. I like to read watch their video writings. And Sadhguru asks this question. He says, what do you do every morning when you get up? He says, tell me 3 things you do every morning when you get up. And then he goes on to say, I know all of you. He says, the first thing all of you do when you get up will be to look at your handphone. That's what a lot of people do nowadays, right? But he goes on to say 3 things that you should do when you get up in the morning. Some of you, when you get up in the morning, you say, oh my God, must go to work, because that's what you do. Or some of you get up in the morning, oh my God, I didn't have enough sleep. All kind of things you complain. You must be very careful. You will say, oh my God, I must get up. My God, I must. If you say things like this, God, I must get up. I really must get up. What if God says, okay, no need to get up anymore? Hey, people die in their sleep, so be careful what you say. Sometimes you don't even realize what you're saying, So when you open your eyes, we always this is what Sadhguru says. Sadhguru says, when you get up in the morning, first thing when you get up in the morning, check your breathing. Your breathing, you say, oh my God, thank you, I'm alive. First, 1 hour later, check again. My God, I'm still breathing. Oh God, thank you for allowing me to breathe. 1 hour later, check again. And he said, my God, I'm breathing, which means I can do anything I want in life and achieve the best of my life. And that is something that really struck me, because that is longevity. Longevity is where when you get up every morning and feel that I'm alive, I'm breathing, which means I can conquer, I can do things. So I need you to understand, my friends, I will talk about health another day, but I want you to understand that we all have problems. We all have financial problem, relationship problem, all kind of problems. A lot of people have health. I want to ask you a question. As long as you get up in the morning and you don't have a health problem, every other problem can be solved. But what if you have a health problem? You know why? Because health problem means your longevity will be cut. Always remember that. I spoke to someone yesterday who has got fibroids, which possibly could be cancer. She couldn't breathe. Now with COVID, she was admitted to the hospital. And she was breathe, when she was talking about, she was panting. And I felt so bad for her, because she's really a lady. And I told her, I said, don't worry, do Ho'oponopono, do this, take care of your health, don't worry, you'll probably live to another 30, 40. And she was very happy, because, she's at a point where she's so worried that she's going to die. And I think by dying and living, it's in God's hand. So you just need to know that if you do Ho'oponopono, if you take care of your health, you'll find. But longevity is something that you want to have, but with quality of life. So that is what longevity is, and that's what the prosperity is for it. Now, how do you live long? Okay. Now, I will talk another day about health and tell you how to take care of your body. But today is about longevity, right? Today, I'm going to tell you something 2 things that maybe many of you didn't know, okay? First thing is, I want you to mark this name. This guy's name is Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton, Bruce, B-R-U-C-E, Lipton, Lipton, okay. He says that everything that we go into in life, in terms of longevity, as well as in terms of illnesses, is only 1% genetic, 99% based on our lifestyle. 99% based on a lifestyle. Just because your father, mother lived long doesn't mean you live long. Your father, mother didn't have handphones. Your father, mother was not staying awake until 2 o'clock to be on Facebook. So you must understand that. So genetically, it's only 1% because your father, mother. That's why illnesses come to us, not because, somebody says, why I've got diabetic. Your father had diabetic. I would have, no, nothing to do with your father. You and your father had the same cooking, that your food that your mother cooked. No wonder both of you got diabetic. So it's not that. So first of all, you need to know longevity is not about genetics. First thing you need to know. Longevity is not about genetics. You need to take care of yourself. I'll give you today 8 ways to take care of yourself. So I will give you some examples. The second thing you need to know about longevity is that if you want to have a long life, you need to remember this word. It's called telomere. Okay, telomere. Okay, remember, take a piece of paper and write down telomeres. Many people don't know this. It's called telomeres. T-E-L-O-M-E-R-E-S. I repeat, T-E-L-O-M-E-R-E-S. Telomeres. Scientists have found out that if your telomeres are long, you live long. Okay, what is telomeres? Let me give you an example. We have our DNA, right? All of us got our DNA, right? Okay, telomeres are the protective caps at the end of the strand of DNA. Okay, so we have a DNA at the end of the, okay, understand like this, we have our DNA, right? Okay, understand, look at a shoelace. You know your shoelaces? You know, when you have shoelaces, you know, at the end of the shoelace, you'll have that plastic strand at the back so that it's easy to put into the hole. Remember, in a shoelace, you've got at the end of it, you've got these two plastic, tightened, that one is like telomere. So that's called telomere. So in our DNA, our body DNA, at the end of our DNA, there's something like a shoestring in the end of the shoestring. Okay. If that one is short, you'll die fast. If that one is long, you'll live long. That is telomeres. So if you do a research on telomeres, find out how to make sure your telomeres are long. How to make sure your telomeres are long. If your telomeres are short, illnesses will come and you'll die. So longevity depends on your telomeres. Telomeres must be long. Okay, now I'll tell you 8 ways to make sure your telomeres are long and you live a long life. 8 ways. Number 1, okay, look after your brain. Look after your brain. Make sure you read. Make sure you are always alert. I read books. I read books. Even currently, I'm reading a book. It's about 1,200 pages. I read books, e-book or physical books. I read fiction and non-fiction because I want to keep myself alert. Do that. When I went to do my MBA at the age of 33, and I thought I was old to do my MBA at the age of 33, I had a lady who was a neurosurgeon in UK, because I did my MBA in UK. A neurosurgeon was 67 years old doing an MBA. 67 years old, neurosurgeon. And I was thinking, my God, and I thought I was old. So keep your brain alert. So first thing, take care of your brain. Please read. And when I say read, I'm not talking about newspaper. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about negative things. I'm not talking about COVID. That's why I say you got to ignore all that. I don't read newspapers at all. I don't watch news at all. I delete anything that comes which is negative in nature. I don't bother. I don't want to know all that because I know God will take care of me. So read up things that make you, like today I told you about telomere, right? Okay, pick up reading. Pick up about telomere. Find out more. How do we do it? So number one, okay? Look after the brain. Make sure it's always active and alert. Number 2, have good relationships. Have good relationship with people. Say sorry and mend your relationship. Don't keep it inside your heart. One of the biggest reasons for cancer is resentment. PhD, Perasaan Hasad Dengki. Resentment, PhD, Perasaan Hasad Dengki. The more you resent, the faster you die. All cancers are caused by 2. One is resentment, the other one is stress. So you need to understand this. Your telomeres will get short if you have got not good relationship. So make friends with family members, make friends with your, move away from toxic relationship, but take care of relationship. Number 3, have a purpose in life. Have a purpose in life. Find something to do. Don't get up in the morning, don't know what to do. Find something to do. Do gardening if you need to. Have a purpose in life. Oh, I've decided to do gardening to have fresh vegetable in my house. Or have a purpose in life. I'm going to take care of some stray dogs or stray cats. Have a purpose in life. I'm going to go to a children's home halfway. Do purpose in life. Let me tell you a story. An Australian guy who was diagnosed of cancer. The doctor told him he got 1 year to live. This is a true story. An Australian guy in Sydney was diagnosed of cancer and was told you have 1 year to live. So he was so upset. What he did was he sold everything, sold his house, sold everything, got his money, and he went to Mexico to set up a home for street children. Because he'd been to Mexico before, he found a lot of street children. He went up to Mexico with his money. He set up a home for street children and brought street children to their home and took care of them. Now, 33 years later, he's still alive. He's still alive. You see what happened? When you have a purpose in life, your telomeres will go longer because you're excited and live longer. Number 4, 2 things. Fresh air, very important. So go outdoors, walk around, go for a walk, fresh air, very important. And your feet must touch earth, Mother Earth. The energy must come to your feet. You must touch Mother Earth. Every time, if you can, when you walk around outside your house, take off your shoes. Walk barefooted so your grass, the touches. Because Mother Earth has got energy when you have barefoot. So what I do, I take my dog for a walk. When I go out with her, I will take off my slippers that I'm wearing, and I will just stand on earth to get that energy from the earth. You understand? And I lived in an estate, so we run around and barefooted on the earth. But now a lot of us don't do that. So very important. Number 4, fresh air and your feet must touch Mother Earth on a daily basis to create that energy. Okay. Number 5, eat whole food. Okay, whole food. That means good food, vegetables, fruits, good food. Even meat. If you're eating meat, don't eat processed meat. I mean, if you want to eat crab, eat crab. If you want to eat chicken. Not chicken ball, not chicken burger, not chicken sausages, but whole chicken. Chicken. If you want to eat lamb, meat. You know, if you want to eat fish, eat fish. It looks like a fish, not fish ball. You understand or not? Because when you eat whole food, mean that the food that you're eating must look as per the name. If it's chicken, it must look like chicken on your plate, not chicken ball. Very important, because the moment it becomes chicken ball, there's what do you call it? They have put steroids, all kind of stuff inside. So you must be very careful. Number 6, exercise. Very important and simple. 12,500 steps per day, or 10,000 steps per day. Every day, get a pedometer, wear a pedometer. Just make sure you do steps, walking. That's why they say brisk walking is very important. You want to live long, right? No need to go to the gym. No need to go and build up muscles and all that. Walk 10,000 steps. Number 7, cut out anything that is stressful in your life. I'm telling you today, you know, if your job is stressful, leave your job. I mean, find something else. Leave your job and have a different life. If your marriage is stressful, do something about it. Go see a counselor, talk it out. Do Ho'oponopono. I teach a lot of people about Ho'oponopono. Do Ho'oponopono. Don't know about Ho'oponopono? Go to my YouTube channel and check out what is Ho'oponopono. Because Ho'oponopono is about cleansing your karma, cleansing your sins. So do Ho'oponopono. And do that, because that will allow you to reduce. Because you must cut down stress. All cancer is caused by stress. Huh? You'll see, but I'm not so stressful. But when you eat food which is toxic, you eat burger, right? A burger goes inside, it creates stress in your body, that your cells in your body malfunction, you get cancer. So I'm not talking about whether you have stress or not. It's the food that you take, the air that you breathe in. If it's stressful, you'll also have a problem. And number 8, adequate sleep. 8 hours of sleep every day, 7 to 8 hours. If your work is stressful, you can't get to sleep, I'm telling you today, you need the sleep for your organs to recuperate so that you live a long life. So all this will affect your telomere. Telomere, I told you already, is like the end of the shoelace. That must be long and it must be there. The moment you start shortening, your life shortens. So longevity is related to telomere. Please go Google TELOMERES and find out how you can have a long life. Okay? And I want to finish up by telling you why longevity is important. You know why? Because Mahatma Gandhi said this: no wealth is good if you don't have health and you don't have quality life. No wealth is good if you don't have health, you don't have a quality life. So many of us are pursuing wealth, but you need to have good life, good quality life. And you want to have good health. And that means you take care of your longevity. I want to finish up with a personal story, like I always do. My mother passed away at the age of 86. 3 years ago, she passed away. And when my mother passed away, as usual, Indian funeral, a lot of people are crying. I also cried a lot, and crying. And I had my wonderful, I consider him as my elder brother, Brother Adi Moolam, who is also a priest. He's in Klang. He visited me. I'm from Pottington, right? Saramban was the funeral. So he visited me, and then he came and he did his prayers and all. And he called me aside and he said, Brother Kati, I will tell you this today. You don't cry for your mother. Celebrate. You know why? Your mother has lived a good life. She has lived for 86 years. She has got 12 children who have grown up, because I'm family of 12 brothers and sisters. She said she has got 12 wonderful children who have done very well in life. Your mother has lived a really good life. You should celebrate, then cry. And that is called longevity, with quality of life. So I hope, my friends, that you understand why longevity is a prosperity. Because it gives you a chance to live long and create why you were born in this life. Create the things what you should do in your life. Because when we are born in this life, we have a purpose. And that purpose can only be done, when you have longevity. So with that, thank you very much. And tomorrow I'll see you with prosperity number 4, which is dexterity. And I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. Is that clear? Okay, so be safe. Take care of yourself, all of you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.